Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Time's Up Fantasy Sports Talk. I am your host, the one and only Waiver Wire Queen. That's right. Waiver Wire Queen is out here in these NFL playoff streets. I'm about to let y'all know who I think is going to win this weekend. Give y'all my predictions. But before I do that, I need y'all to do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Come on now, subscribe, and follow Waiver Wire Queen. Follow me. You know why you need to follow me? Because if you've been following me on season, I probably got you to that championship in your fantasy football league, or I helped you pick up some gems on the wire. But why not get started on 2021 season? I know people are like, "Come on, Queen, season just ended." Well, if you're in a dynasty league, you got to prepare now because you got a draft coming up in a few months, and also if you're playing fantasy basketball, I can get you right there too. And then I just get you right, keep you current and updated with news and what's going on in NFL, NBA, and in MLB. So let's get right into these predictions on what I think is going to happen because it's going down this weekend. I'm excited. My team's not in the playoffs, but I don't care because I love football. So guess what? I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch. I'm not screaming and I'm not going to cheer for the Bills, but congratulations to the Bills for making the playoffs and doing their thing. They have been one of the most impressive teams this season to me. Actually, they've been the most impressive team this season to me. And Josh Allen has exceeded my expectations. I've been talking trash about Josh Allen since they drafted him, but you know what? He's doing his damn thing. He has quieted us, and he's balling out. And I'm excited for them and their fans. I know their fans are cray, but cray in a good way. They love their team and they show it, and that's a good thing. Those are some real fans. So shout out to all the Bills fans and the Bills team for doing the damn thing. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all the Bills versus the Colts. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by saying this: the Bills gonna win that game. Okay, the Bills are going to win this game. The advantage that the Bills have is their quarterback, Josh Allen, and at wide receiver. That is their biggest advantage. I think their defense has been playing better than the Colts. Both teams have solid defenses. However, the Colts defense has kind of been up and down a bit. And I just think the Bills are going to win this game. They have the best advantage at quarterback. You have the best advantage at quarterback and wide receiver. Okay, you got the quarterback, wide receiver, and that's an important advantage. The Colts advantage is at running back. You have Jonathan Taylor and you have Nehemiah Hines. Their running backs are, to me, I feel their running backs are better than the Bills running backs and Moss and Singletary. Okay, they're solid, but the Colts this is a huge advantage of the Colts, and they need to use that to their advantage. Their offensive line is another strength too. So run the ball. That should set up some things downfield to Pittman and Ty, and it's going to be a good game. I do not expect this to be a blowout because this is only one game. They've had time to, to prepare. You're preparing throughout the week, and both teams are probably hyped up in the playoffs. This is just one game. Then who's going to move on? I think the Bills are going to move on, but I do feel like the Colts are going to play well enough to potentially upset the Bills. But at the end of the day, I still feel the Bills will win this game. When I look at the quarterback situation, Rivers, he started the season not playing well, and I was screaming, they need to go on and go. Just bench him, and they need to get them a quarterback. I still feel like they need to identify who's going to be their future quarterback because I don't feel like the future quarterback is on that roster. So that's something they got to think about because you don't know if Rivers is going to retire at the end of the season or the season after that. I feel like it's coming up, whether it's at the end of this season or next season. It's coming up. So that's something they need to address. And why address it once he's retired? You don't want to be scrambling at the end for a quarterback. But Phillip Rivers has played well enough for them to win. And they've had a winning record. They've had a solid season. He's kept them competitive, and some of that has been the defense as well. However, Josh Allen at this stage in career, when I look at the career, Phil Rivers, is going down. Career, he's looking at retirement soon. So Allen, we're looking at going up, just really starting his career off, and he's taking off. And right now, he is the better quarterback of the two, and you're going to see that on Saturday. You're going to see it, and he's going to hook up with Diggs more than once, and this is going to be an exciting, fun game, and I expect the Bills to win. I'm going to say 2 touchdowns to Diggs. Taylor is going to score 1 touchdown. And I think it's just overall going to be a really fun and exciting game. The Bills fans should be excited and ready and be happy because I'm predicting that y'all going to win. All right, time's up. Let's move on to the next game. We're going to talk about the Rams versus the Seahawks. Okay, so the biggest question is who's starting at quarterback for the Rams? That's a huge question to me. Are they going to have their guy? Is Goff going to play? If he's not playing, they're not winning that game. I feel like if he plays, they have a better chance at winning that game. But if he's not playing, which I'm feeling like he's not, I think Seattle will pull it off. Seattle's defense has been okay, but it's not. They're not, to me, really. They're not a good defense. They have some bright spots on defense. However, they have some work to do. The offense is solid. You don't need to do anything on offense. But the defense, you have a lot that you need to improve on. Pass rush, you need to find a pass rush. You need to go on and find somebody who can rush the quarterback. You need to look at that at the end of the season. And during the offseason. But at the end of the day, you're here, you're in the playoffs. You got Russell Wilson. So with Russell Wilson, you always have a chance. And I think Russell Wilson's going to pull it off. We know the Rams defense is, to me, 100 times better than Seattle's defense, but I think their defense can play well enough to help them win this game, especially if you don't have your starting quarterback. To me, wide receivers, obviously, we know Seattle has the advantage, but the Rams wide receivers are solid as well. But if you don't have that starting quarterback, then it's not going to work for you. And then we also got to see his Cup plan. He was on the COVID list. So that may be an issue for them. I just think Seattle's going to win this game. Wilson is going to do what he has to do. He's going to take it to the next level because it's Russell Wilson, damn it. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and he is going to play well enough for his team to win. It's not going to be an easy game because you got Aaron Donald out there in these football streets. You have a chance. And you have Ramsey out there. You have a chance. But guess what? The chance is not this weekend coming up. Seattle will win this game. I think Chris Carson will play well enough to help them win. I don't know if the Rams are going to stick with Cam or you're going to mix it up with all three. They've been kind of doing that this season. I felt like once Cam played solid for a few weeks in a row, and then he killed it with that one game. And it would be his job, but sometimes they do tend to still do the committee, and that's fine. I think that they have a better chance of running on against Seattle than Seattle has on the Rams. So I'm not expecting, if you're playing fantasy, daily fantasy, I would not look at Carson as an option to start, but I think he's going to play well enough to help his team win the ball. So if you get down there in his goal line, I think he can run up in there for a touchdown. However, I would look elsewhere because there's some better options to play this weekend. But for purposes of playoff predictions, Seattle is going to win this game and move on to the next round. And that's with or without Goff. If Goff plays, again, it gives them a better opportunity. It gives them a chance to be competitive. But if he's not playing, it's going to be hard for them to win that game. and Seattle's defense should be able to take advantage of that. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Seattle. I don't know if Goff's playing. We don't know yet, so I'm going with Seattle. All right, time's up. Let's move on to another great game. This game gonna be fun. Tampa versus the Washington football team. Congratulations to the Washington football team for winning the NFC East. That went down to that came down to the last game. Everybody knows what happened against the Washington football team versus Philly. I expected that game to be competitive. Some people feel the way they feel. I'm a Giants fan. At the end of the day, I still feel like, well, we didn't have a winning record, and it's okay to make the playoffs, but we didn't have a winning record, and we need to figure out how we can get to a point where we have a winning record and we're not depending on the Washington football team or Philly to either win or lose so we can get in the playoffs. Let's do it on our own so we don't have to do it. But my boys is coming back next season. Shout out to the Giants. Much love. We built on this season, and next season we're going to continue to build. But anyways, let's get right into this the Washington football team versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So big question is Evans playing? The Tampa Bay has some advantages all over the field. Our offense, they have all the advantages, and you got the GOAT. They call him the GOAT of football. So we're gonna call Tom Brady the GOAT of football. You have Tom Brady, so you have a chance. He shows up for the most part in the playoffs. If you're in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, you need a touchdown, you need to go drive down the field, get a touchdown. I want Tom Brady because every time I watch, he shows up and he shows out. So he has the offensive weapons. Even if Evans doesn't play, they still have Antonio Brown, and they have Godwin, and then they have Fournette. You still have Gronk. I mean, you still have advantages. I think they should win this game. I feel like they have the advantage at running back, wide receiver. Even though Logan Thomas has balled out this season, I still feel like with Tom Brady as the quarterback, you still have something better there on Tampa. However, the biggest advantage of this game is the goddamn Washington defense. And not the whole defense, just that front. Young, I really wanted the Giants to draft him. So now my damn quarterback is gonna be chased around by Young for a long time because this kid is exceptional. The whole front, Montez, Payne. I mean, my goodness gracious, Tom Brady is gonna be running, okay? Because that offensive line is not going to be able to hold Young and them down. If you're holding Young down, best believe Montez is coming somewhere. They're coming for him. This is gonna be. I still feel like, well, I'm 100% sure that Tampa's going to win this game. Washington's offense is not that good. I feel like they won a division, and they can build on that by adding some offensive weapons and identifying their franchise quarterback. Alex Smith is going to play well enough to keep them in this game. However, I still feel like Tampa's going to win this game, but Tom Brady going to get hit a lot. That front is no joke. All right. If anything, that's the most as a fan of Washington, any of their fans, that's probably the most exciting part of your team. That damn front. I really wanted Young for the Giants, but nonetheless, it is what it is. We ain't getting mine. I'm cool, but y'all not winning this game. Okay, Tom Brady is still going to play well, even though he's going to get hit a lot. They're going to win this game. AB going to get a touchdown. AB going to get a touchdown. Grunt going to get a touchdown. I think Godwin's going to have the yardage. So there's nothing else to say. Tampa going to win, but Tom Brady going to fill Washington's front. That's it. I don't have anything else to say about that. Time's up. Let's move on to Sunday. Hey, we in the Sunday. Ooh, like I said, I'm excited. Can't wait for this weekend. Sunday games, we got Ravens versus the Titans. We got Chicago versus the Saints. We got the Browns versus Pittsburgh. Okay, so let's go into the Ravens versus Tennessee. We all know people say, well, both teams got great running backs. The advantage for Tennessee is Derrick Henry. That is an advantage that, he should be considered for MVP. I said what I said, damn it. Derrick Henry for MVP. Over 2,002 seasons, back to back, and he doesn't look like he's slowing down. Derrick Henry for MVP. Derrick Henry for MVP. Derrick Henry for MVP. Now, anyways, I think both of the Ravens are gonna win this game. That's just my opinion, and I'm saying that because for defensive purposes. Tennessee's defense is really not that good. They have some pieces that are solid, but they have the back DBs. That's a weakness for them. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a really good game. And I think that at the end of the day, Baltimore is going to pull it out. I think they'll be able to run the ball and throw the ball. Now, I still feel like Derrick Henry is going to be able to run that ball, but it's going to be tougher because the Ravens have a solid defense. And that's what I'm saying with the Ravens, that defense is solid. However, I still feel like Henry is going to be able to do what he needs to do. AJ Brown's going to have a solid game, but I still feel like at the end of the day, the Ravens will be able to pull this out, because I feel like if it's coming down to one stop and you need to stop that team from scoring or moving the ball, I feel like the Ravens have the better defense and will be able to do so. I don't feel like Tennessee's defense is on that level right now. Their offense is solid and they have some pieces on defense, but they have to add to that defense, because that defense may be their Achilles heel in the playoffs, which I'm saying is going to happen this weekend. I think they need to use Jonnu Smith a bit more. And I want to see Henry catch some passes, because I feel like they don't do it enough. But I mean, hell, it's too late in the season for that. So Henry gonna probably run over somebody in the game, and I expect that. I expect him to be solid. However, I feel like the Ravens will pull this off, because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to just that one stop. And I feel like it's going to be hard for Tennessee to do it, because they haven't been able to do it consistently this season. And we're in the playoffs now. It's big time. We in the playoffs. I mean, they turned some heads last postseason, but this time around, I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to win this game. Henry for MVP though. Anyways, time's up. I'm going to move on to the Saints versus the Bears. All right. The Bears defense has been solid the last few years, but they haven't been as consistent or as good this season. Advantages. Montgomery has been balling out. However, Kamara is still an advantage. Wide receivers, if Michael Thomas is playing, which I know they put him on IR to kind of get him ready for the postseason. If he's playing, that's an advantage right there. Quarterback, I've always been a big fan of Drew. However, he's on a decline. He's retiring at the end of the season. So they're probably going to sprinkle Taysom Hill in there a bit more. However, the Saints defense is for real. So I feel like the Saints defense is going to be key, because like I said, the Bears defense is good too. I feel like the Saints defense is better. And I think that it's not going to come down to quarterback play, because I feel like Mitch is going to play okay, but he's not going to play well enough for them to win on Sunday. And Drew is going to play well enough for his team to win. This is the playoffs. They both been there, but obviously Drew has been there more times. He has the Super Bowl. I think he's gonna play well enough to win. I feel like Mitch has done well over these last 6 or 7 games to help his team and put them in a position to make the playoffs. However, I just don't feel like they're going to win this game. I feel like Michael Thomas if he plays, is going to play well. Kamara is still going to get his yards and he's going to score. And they're probably going to sprinkle, like I said, Taysom Hill in there. I think David Montgomery is going to have a solid game, even though the Saints defense is really scary good. I still think he's going to be able to he's not going to, if you're playing daily fantasy, he's not going to get you 25, 30 points. That's not happening. But I still feel like he's going to play well enough to keep the game competitive. I don't see a blowout. However, I just don't see the Bears winning this game. I still feel like they need to address quarterback. That's how I feel. I know people are saying, well, Queen, Mitch has won 5, 6 games, whatever. He's been playing well. He didn't play well last week against the Packers. And I feel like the Saints defense is better than the Packers. I know he's had some moments where he's played well. He played really well against Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's defense is not the defense when Ramsey was on that team. It's a totally different ballgame down out there in Jacksonville, in Jacksonville streets. It's not the same defense. And the Saints defense is better than the Packers, in my opinion. And I do not feel like I don't see him going off and winning this game. The Saints will win this game. Don't be fooled. Like I said, check out that video. Don't be fooled by Mitch. I still feel like he can be a backup quarterback. I don't see him as a starting quarterback. I just don't. But however, he's here and they made the playoffs. But the Saints gonna win this damn game. All right, time's up. Let's move right on. Let's go to the Browns versus the Steelers. I'm not even gonna go deep into this game. I don't feel like the Browns are gonna win. One, because their coach is not even coaching this game. That's huge. That's a game changer. And that advantage right there goes to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh hasn't played well in about 5 games. And if I could just put the Waiver Wire Queen curse, pow, and Pittsburgh lose every game, I would. But I can't. And the Browns defense is really good. I feel like they have played well, and that's part of the reason why they are in the playoffs and have a winning record. However, not having your head coach going into a playoff game, first game with this coach, is going to hurt the team. And it's I think another coach is not going to be there, or they're not going to win this game. So even though I don't want Pittsburgh to win, and I want to say, I don't know, they're going to lose the game now. Pittsburgh going to win the game. They rest their players last week. Hopefully they have gotten their act together, because they have played like crap the last few weeks. Ben hasn't been good at all. And so to me, it starts with the quarterback, and he hasn't been playing well the last few weeks. And again, if I can put my curse on Pittsburgh to lose the game, I would. But I just feel like not having that head coach is huge and is going to show in this game. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. Who do y'all think is going to win this week? Who y'all think is going to win this weekend? And just comment. Let the queen know. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, and follow Waiver Wire Queen. You can also follow me on Facebook and IG at Dream Elite Strive for Excellence. And that's excellence with an X. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Have a great evening. Peace.